What's up, you mad dogs? UFC Fight Night, Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval will take place this weekend. And this is going to be my full card prediction and breakdown video. Uh, it's the last card of the year. It's the last card of the year, and then we don't have anything for like 6 weeks. 6 fucking weeks with no UFC, guys. Come on, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Next card will be the UFC 324, the first card on the Paramount schedule. And it's going to be a bit of a wait. It's going to be a bit of a wait until that one comes around. And this is what we've got to close off the year. There's some interesting matchups here. Some good ones up the top. As you work your way down the card, not so much. A couple of the fights actually changed today. Or one of them changed one of the opponents. And there was a short notice add-in. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Without further ado, let's jump right in the card. I'm going to work my way up from the bottom. Start with the first fight of the night, and we'll get to the main event at the end. First fight of the night, toilet break. Jamie Lynn Horth versus Teresa Bleda. I'm going to side with Teresa Bleda here. I think she can get this one done by decision, using her grappling to at least control and get damage, or mostly control for at least 2 of the rounds. They're both well-rounded. Both of these girls are fairly well-rounded. Teresa, she does pretty good in the grappling. She has good entries on her takedowns. She's got a pretty good win against Gabriela Fernandez, which was her last fight. But that wasn't since like 2023. But with that being said, she is very young. I think she's only like 24. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad having that much time off. Maybe even good for her. Maybe working on a game. I don't know if it was an injury or anything like that. Jamie Lynn Horth, like I mentioned, well-rounded. She can do it all. In this fight, she's probably better off in the striking. As Teresa's, she's not too bad of a grappler. They can both grapple, but I think Teresa will have the advantage in the grappling. So I think Horth will want to keep this one on the feet. To Bleda, her only loss in her pro career is to Natalia Silva, and that was by knockout in the 3rd round. There was a moment in the last round of the Fernandez fight where she looked to be kind of rocked for a bit, but she eventually got the takedown and wore out the round. I think she can do that here. At least win 2 of the rounds and pick up a 29-28 decision. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. I didn't watch any tape. Well, I watched it a little bit, but yeah, look, I'm not pumped for this one. I don't know if there is anyone out there that truly is. So we'll get on to the next fight of the night. Heavyweight bout. Man, it's fucking hot in here. I'm sweating up a storm right now. Heavyweight bout. Frye Jr. versus Guilherme Pat. 2 debutants. Look, I couldn't find too much tape on these guys. Guilherme Pat. We'll start with him. I'm going to side with Guilherme Pat in this fight. He's a very, very tall, long, athletic build, especially for the heavyweight. He's not a blob. He's not a blob at all. Good kicks. He'll use the range. He's very patient, which I kind of like here. I think he can use his kicks, stick at range, and just pick away at this fight. Frye, he's got some decent boxing. I've seen him controlled a bit in one of the fights that I watched of his, especially for a good part of a round. He was controlled on the ground. I'm not too sure about Guilherme's grappling ability, but he looks to be mostly a striker, and he's quite good at it. I think the size here will be the difference, and he just seems to be pretty measured, pretty patient, and pretty composed. And I think he can either pick away at a decision win or even pick up a knockout with maybe like a big head kick of some sort. He does throw big head kicks, and he's pretty good at them. So yeah, that's my pick. Guilherme Pat. I'll lean the side of a decision, but a knockout is possible. A knockout is possible. Third fight of the night. My wife. I'm siding with Luana Santos. I have to side with Luana Santos here. I think she's going to get this one done by decision. I could see her picking up a submission win possibly, but Melissa Croden is no slouch. She is no slouch whatsoever. She's very very rangy, tall, distance striker, and she's got good power in the hands. She sets up her strikes very well. She does have good grappling defense that she showed in her last fight. It was against Tianara Lisboa, and she's not that great, so it's nothing to call home about. But, she showed a good fight in her first. It was her debut. She got a knockout in the third round in that fight. Luana Santos's last fight was also to Tianara Lisboa, and she beat her by submission in the second round. It is an interesting matchup. It's two prospects here coming up in the division, so it's interesting to see that they've put them together so early. But yeah, I have to side with Luana Santos. I think her grappling's pretty good. She does have the loss over Casey O'Neill, or lost to Casey O'Neill. But she's an experienced vet, So I think she can learn a lot from that. She's still young. Croden's like 34 or 35, I think. So she is at the back end of her career, I'd say, even though she's just debuted. But like I mentioned, no slouch. This is an interesting matchup, and I am actually looking forward to this one. But I have to side with Luana Santos. I think she can edge it out with the grappling, and I think she can pick up a decision win here. That's my pick, Luana Santos by decision. On to the next fight of the night. Battle of the Blobs. Let's fucking oge. Another heavyweight bout. Sean Sharaf versus Stephen Asplund. I don't know with this one. This is tough. I could see this going two ways. Sean Sharaf landing a takedown, getting a bit of top control and smashing down some ground and pound, getting a finish that way. But with that being said, I've seen Stephen Asplund taken down and controlled for a good part of a round and then coming back and knocking the dude out in the second. So, I don't know. I think I like the mental toughness here of Stephen Asplund. Visibly, he's lost a lot of weight. He's got loose skin. So that honestly tells me that he's pretty mentally strong. He's been able to, overcome some, lower moments in his life. Being as heavy as however I did see somewhere that he lost a certain amount of weight. I can't remember exactly the numbers, but bro, impressive, and I love to see the grind. The dude's got power in his hands. He's coming off the Dana White's Contender Series win earlier this year, where he's put the dude to sleep in like 20 seconds. Quick fight. Didn't get to see a lot. He does have a loss by submission to Denzel Freeman, who just debuted like a couple of weeks ago. So the grappling may be a little bit of a worry here. Sean does train with Sean Strickland. Sure enough. Fucking hell. So yeah, he's getting those good looks in, and he's probably getting some good grappling in. And he did show it. He showed it in the Tafa fight. He got Tafa down for a bit. But look, I don't know. I seen him quit in the second round. That's what it looked to be. He looked to quit in that second round. Now, that might have been a short notice matchup, to be fair on him. It's a really tough one to call, this one, but I am going to lean the side of Stephen Asplund. I think he's going to get it done by knockout. I think he'll get it done by knockout in the first or second round. I could potentially see some early success here from Sean, possibly with some takedowns, a bit of control, landing some damage from top. But I think Asplund, he can overcome once more and land that knockout shot. We did see Sean Sharaf get knocked out by Junior Tafa, and that has not aged well. So, Stephen Asplund by knockout, that's my pick for this fight. On to the next fight of the night. Fuck's sake. The Cockroach King is back again, ready to cockroach his way to a victory. I'm not over the Jake Matthews fight, bro. I know he wasn't out, but I'm not over that fucking Jake Matthews fight, bro. I wish they just called that fight on the spot. If they did, bro, that was a perfect card. That would have been a perfect card for me. I would have picked every fight. But Neil Magny, proven to fucking be a magician yet again, pulling the rabbit out the hat. It's just what he does. It's just what he fucking does. He's an experienced vet, very tall and rangy for the division. just knows when you think he's done. You think he's just about done, and he just cockroaches his way to a victory, pulls a fucking rabbit out of the hat. Turned around on Mike Mallet after getting fucking beat up for 2 rounds. Almost got subbed out by Jake Matthews. Turns it around. All good. Getting beat up by fucking, who else was it? The Brazilian dude. Turns it around, knocks him out in the second with ground and pound. Once again, like he did to Mike Mallet. It's tough to pick against him. But his opponent here, Yaroslav Amosov, coming from Bellator champion, welterweight. He's only got 1 pro loss in his career. That was by knockout, and it was fairly recent. He's a bit of a smaller dude, obviously, compared to Magny. But he's a very good grappler. He is a very good grappler. He gets good takedowns, and he will chase a submission. He does have finishes by knockout as well. But I think his wheelhouse is the grappling. And I think that's where he's going to take this fight. I am going to side here with Yaroslav Amosov. And I'm going to say he gets it done by submission, okay? Come on, man. Come on, don't let this guy cockroach his way out of a fucking another loss. Come on. I don't have anything against Neil Magny here, except for the fact that he ruined my fucking perfect card. But personally, nothing against him. I don't know. He doesn't take damage that good these days, you know? He's always getting backed up. Doesn't take shots too well. Gets taken down very easily. He can be subbed out pretty easily. Has a lot of finished losses on his career. And even though he's still putting them together, and this guy is coming in from Bellator, doesn't have the UFC experience, I'm going to side with Yaroslav Amosov, and I think he can get the finish in the first round by submission. If he doesn't, keep an eye out for that Magny fucking masterclass, alright? Keep an eye out for that Magny round 3 masterclass. You never know. Yaroslav Amosov by submission in the first. That is going to be my pick. Next fight of the night is not this. This is not the fight that's happening. Melsik Bagdasaryan has pulled out. The reason is undisclosed. But he is being replaced by none other than Isaac Thompson. Aussie prospect, very young. I think he's only 23. So yeah, that was only announced today. So not even a week's notice. It's gonna be a tough ask. Joe Anderson Brito, whatever. He's a physical presence. He's got finishes with knockout and submission. He comes out looking for that finish. He comes out very aggressive pressure style, non-stop. His striking isn't that clean. He's got big power in the hands, but he wings massive overhands, big hooks. Not a whole lot technical about it, but he does swing with that heat, and he can put people down. With that being said, Isaac Thompson, karate base. I think he's a black belt in karate. Very young, as I mentioned. The short notice is a worry here. But am I mad? Or am I just biased because he's Australian to say, I think Isaac Thompson can win this fight? That's just what I think. I think Isaac Thompson has a chance to win this fight. I was picking Joe Anderson Brito to beat Melsik Bagdasaryan here. I think Isaac Thompson can come in here on short notice and win a fight over Joe Anderson Brito. I think he can do it by decision, possibly even land a knockout. His striking, very slick. He'll stay on the back foot looking for counters. His combos are really good. He finds really good angles in his striking. And just watching his fights back is a good watch. His last fight, it was very close. It was a split decision. He won against a grappler. The grappler had a good amount of control time in the first round, and that's where I think Joe Anderson really needs to take this fight. But yeah, the grappler had good control time for the first and the second round, and I just think it was the damage in that fight that was the difference. You could call it the other guy's way, but look, Isaac Thompson, he's got a good win over what's his name, Larian Douglas. He just got a contract on the Contender Series earlier this year. Yeah, Larian Douglas. Pretty good win. Pretty good win. I think Brito needs to get this fight to the ground. I seriously, I think Brito needs to, or at least mix it up a lot, because Isaac Thompson's striking is very clean. He uses his straight shots very well, and I think that is good against someone like Brito, who's going to be swinging wild overhands, big hooks. I think he can beat him to the punch with his straight shots, and I think Brito won't be able to fare with Isaac Thompson on the feet. We've seen William Gomez picking him apart a little bit, sticking at range, running him into the big shots. And I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say Isaac Thompson can do something similar. Defend the grappling. He's got pretty good grappling defense, even though he was taken down and controlled in his last fight a bit. He did show very good grappling defense in general. He's doing the right thing, staying very composed. And I know Brito is a very physical presence here, so it is a worry, especially with that short notice and with Thompson being so young. But I got to side with the Aussie. I say he gets it done by decision, winning 2 of the 3 rounds, probably the second and the third, after some early grappling success from Brito, maybe some submission attempts. Will I be surprised if Brito, puts on a fucking mauling inside of a round? Maybe not, but I think Thompson's got it. I think Thompson can do it. It's a big ask, being on such short notice, like I mentioned, but Isaac Thompson, by decision, that's my pick for this fight. Now, for the last fight on the prelims, yet another toilet break. Not the worst matchup. Not the worst matchup, to be fair. I like Gillian Robertson. She's a very good grappler. Amanda Lemos, most people would know her. She's fought for the belt once. She's lost to Weili. All of her recent losses are to fairly decent competition. So you can't hate on her too much. You can't look down on her too much. I don't know. She's been submitted a couple of times. That's one thing I was looking into this fight, and I think Gillian Robertson's grappling is very good. She's got good entries on her takedowns, and she's always working. She's improving on the feet. She is improving on the feet, getting better. That's not her wheelhouse, though. She needs to stick to the grappling here. Lemos, she does have big power in the hands. She can strike very well. And she does have good defensive grappling as well. It is the best women in the world that have subbed her out. So that needs to be said. But I'm going to go ahead and say that Gillian Robertson wins this fight by submission in the second round. I just think she's going to be better in the grappling. I think I'm just going to wipe this fucking sweat off my face. Fuck, it's hot, man. Gillian Robertson, I think she's going to be better in the grappling. I think she can pick up the submission in the second round. I think I already said that, but yeah, I don't know. Lemos at this point, she's getting old. She has shown holes in the grappling. At times, can just be controlled, held down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this one, guys. This is the fucking third toilet break on the night. Oh yeah, third. Oh my god, third toilet break of the night. But like I mentioned, not the worst matchup. Gillian Robinson by submission in the second round. That's going to be my pick for this fight. On to the main card. This is not the first fight. Ooh, go back on there. This is the first fight of the main card. This has also just been announced today, I believe. I was going to record this video this morning. Had I done that, I would not have had this fight, and I wouldn't have had the updated Joe Anderson Brito fight. So I'm glad I waited till now. Bobby Green versus Lance Gibson Jr. Lance Gibson Jr. He's the son of a vet, or an older UFC fighter back in the day. Coming up against Bobby Green here. Bobby Green's coming off the knockout loss, the spinning wheel kick to Mauricio Ufi. Tough loss to come back from. Bobby Green's 39 now. Bobby Green is 39 now, and he's been finished in 3 of 4 of his last fights quickly in the first round. The win of those 4 was to Jim Miller, another guy at the end of his days, where he just kind of pieced him up. Look, he's well-rounded, clean striker, very fast, that, hands-down approach, very kind of leaving his chin out there to be fucking whacked. He's good with the head movement, though. He is good with the head movement, it has to be said. But as he's getting older, I just don't think that style's the best for him, especially when he keeps getting knocked out like he has been. It's hard for me to go ahead and pick Bobby Green in a fight here. I'm not calling him King Green. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. He's Bobby Green, okay? That's just who he is. Look, the experience, it's worth mentioning. Obviously, a lot of fights in his time. Been in the UFC for a long time. And this is a short notice debut for Lance Gibson. Fucking Lance Douglas, I'm thinking. Anyway, I'm going to go with Lance Gibson here. I'm going to say he gets the finish. And I'm going to say he does it within 2 rounds. Nothing crazy. He's well-rounded. He can mix it up. He can strike. He can submit. He can grapple. He can do it all. His one loss came fairly recently, and that was by knockout to some Russian dude, I believe. But look, it's just hard for me to pick Bobby Green, especially on a short notice matchup like these. Both of these guys are coming in on short notice. This isn't just Lance stepping in to replace someone. Both of these fighters are coming in on short notice, and I think Lance will be ready for this. I do. I think Lance is going to be ready for this matchup. And I think it's probably a pretty good matchup to get. Someone with a bit of name value, but at the same time, someone who's really seems to be on the back end of his career. Currently on a 2-fight, finishing loss streak. So I can't pick Bobby Green here. I have to side with Lance Gibson. I've said it again. Oh, it is Gibson. The fuck? Oh. What is going on? It's hot, man. It's hot. It's the heat. It's getting to me. Lance Gibson by finish inside the first 2 rounds. That's my pick for this fight. Back to the UFC website because they haven't updated it yet. Next fight of the night. Fuck me, man. I'm fence sitting this one. I've been fence sitting this one, alright? Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Marcus Buchecha. When I first seen this fight, I'm thinking, yeah, Nzechukwu wins by knockout. Sure thing. Buchecha wasn't that impressive in his debut. This is a tough one. Buchecha, BJJ world fucking champion, BJJ legend. And Nzechukwu is coming off a fucking heel hook loss to Walter Walker. Now, watching the Martin Buday fight back with Buchecha, he didn't do as bad as I thought. He was landing the takedowns eventually. They're going to be working on his wrestling. I know where he's training. He's going to be working on his wrestling. They're going to be working on his takedowns. And I think that's good for him in this fight. And Nzechukwu shown holes in the grappling in previous outings, including in the last one. I know it was a quick transition that Walter got him in, and Walter's a big guy, and I think he's got better wrestling than Buchecha. But fuck, I don't know, man. My first pick was in Nzechukwu by knockout, and I thought he was going to do it in the second round, but am I going to swap this pick? Buchecha with the submission threat. I think he gets it done. Okay, I think Buchecha is going to come out and show a lot of improvement, and I think he'll get it done here over Kennedy Nzechukwu. It's hard to take a 5-2 opponent. It really is. Knowing he came in and lost that fight against not someone who's that top competition. But to be fair, Martin Buday, he does have very good. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt himself. So, look, not the worst loss. Not the worst loss. I'm gonna say Marcus Buchecha comes back, gets a win, and I think he'll do it by submission in the first round. That's my pick for this fight. Next fight of the night. This is a good matchup. This is a pretty good matchup. I'm looking forward to this one. It's an interesting fight. Melquid. I can never say his name. Melquizael Costa. Melquizael Costa versus Morgan Charrière, the last pirate. Look, I think in this fight, I'm going to side with Costa. That's my pick in this fight. How he gets it done, I'm still kind of undecided. I feel like he's going to have the advantage in the grappling here. He's very well rounded. He's got good striking, got good grappling. Charrière, he's more of a striker. He's got big power in the hands. He puts combos together all right, but he's more of a big puncher, looking for that power, looking for that knockout shot. Melky, look, he's putting on a very good win streak. He's putting on a very good win streak at the moment. I think he's on a 4-fight win streak right now. And look, he's been doing work. He's been doing work, getting decisions against good fighters. Good fighters. Who did he beat recently? Was it Andre Philly maybe? No. Christian Rodriguez. I don't think that was his last fight. I can't remember who his last fight was now. Just looking at this last night. But anyway. Melky Costa. I'm going to say he gets this one done by decision. That's my call on this fight. I think he can. I think this will be a close fight. With that being said, I think this will be a close fight. I think it'll be a bit of a back and forth kind of scrap. But Melky's got good enough striking to fare with Morgan Charrière. I don't think Charrière is that good. He's not the worst, but he's not anything crazy special, I think Costa can fare on the feet with him, even do his own damage. But I think the grappling will come into play here, and I think he can at least mix it up enough to maybe land some takedowns, get a bit of control time, and just get a bit of damage from top, and possibly even chase a submission at some points. I just see him getting the better of most of the transitions and scrambles, and yeah, I'm going to pick Costa to edge a 29-28 decision win. That's my pick for this fight. On to the next fight of the night. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This will be a banger. I think this will be a fucking banger of a fight. César Almeida versus César Oleksiejczuk. I wonder if they did that on purpose. That's interesting, eh? César Oleksiejczuk is the brother of Mikel. They're training at the Fighting Nerds currently. So, look, getting good looks in. This guy's got pretty good boxing. He's got really good boxing. He's a rangy striker. Power in the hands. Sick power in the hands. Coming off that win on Contender Series early this year. A little bit of a weird stoppage. It should have just been a fucking straight knockout. The ref kind of called time instead of calling the fight and wanted to look for back of the head strikes because he kind of sprawled a takedown, and as the guy was holding the single leg, he just started unloading hammer fists, and the ref just called time and was like, "Oh, we got to check this for the back of the head strikes." And then they checked it, and they were all sweet. So he was like, "Oh, sweet, the fight's over then." Bit of a weird stoppage. Took away from Cesar's moment a bit, but still got the TKO win. And look, it wasn't much to watch there, but he showed good power in the hands. We know he's getting in good looks at the fighting nerds there, training with a lot of good fighters. César Almeida, he's a bit of a beast. He's a bit of a beast. He's coming off a knockout win over Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He had quite a big size advantage in that fight. He did get rocked at one point. Al Hassan has some insane power in the hands. But yeah, Almeida, he just he overcame. He overcame the adversity in that fight, and he put Abdul Razak Al Hassan out pretty badly. That was a vicious knockout. He's obviously got some insane power in the hands. He is patient. He is patient, and he's a kickboxer. He'll look to counter strike. He won't overthrow, which is I like that. He wasn't overthrowing in that last fight. He was very patient, and even though he got rocked, he was able to get back up, wait for the shot. He was getting teed off on up against the fence, found that clean shot, and put him down. Put him down bad. Now, I think César Oleksiejczuk is going to win this fight, and I think he'll get it done by knockout, okay? I think he'll get it done by knockout in the first or the second round, early in the second round maybe. I think the size and the frame advantage is going to play a part here, and the slick boxing of César, I think he can get to Almeida's chin and put him down. That's my call for this fight. César Oleksiejczuk by knockout. On to the next one. Kevin Vallejos, baby. This kid's fucking sick, eh? This guy is fucking awesome. And this is a cool fight. This is a cool fight. Now, this is a big step up in competition. Very quickly. I'm surprised they're shooting him up this quick. I think Giga's 15th ranked right now. So he's getting ranked opponent already. Yeah, look. Kevin Vallejos. Very good boxer. Insane power in the hands. He's very physical. He's very good with his counter striking. He'll look to counter strike. And, yeah, he can put some fucking mustard on. He can put some mustard on his shots. He's got a lot of knockouts on his record. And he's put people out bad. His only pro loss came by decision. And that was to Gene Silva on the Contender Series a couple years back. Not a bad loss. Not a bad loss at all. And it was a scrap. It was a scrap of a fight. And he looked pretty good. He's coming off the UD win against Danny Silva. That was a pretty good performance. Pretty good performance. A little bit of back and forth fight. But he edged the fight quite clearly, in my opinion. And onto Giga Chikadze. Kicker. Sick fucking kicker. Look, he's a striker. His kicks are insane. This dude's kicks are fucking insane. He's got a kick named after him. He's getting old though. He's getting old. He's only fighting once a year. He's been fighting once a year since like 2023 maybe. This is his second fight this year. He did have a fight in April that he lost to David Onama. Who just got fucking put out bad by Steve Garcia. So, I'm going to side with Kevin Vallejos in this fight. I know Giga Chikadze here, he can have some success with the kicks. Kevin Vallejos, he stands very heavy on that front foot. He's got a very boxer-like stance. So I think Giga Chikadze, he can have some success early with those leg kicks. But I think Kevin's going to counter one of them, you know? I think Giga will start picking apart a bit, getting the kicks off, start to get a little bit more comfortable. And I think Kevin Vallejos is going to set up a mean counter to one of those kicks that he throws, and I think he'll put him out bad. I think he's going to put him out bad here. I know Giga Chikadze, he's never been knocked out in his career. I think this is it. I think it's time. Your time has come. It's going to happen. Kevin Vallejos will win this fight by knockout. I'm going to say it'll be in the second round. Countering a kick with big hook or big overhand of some sort. put him down on the chin, maybe follow up with some ground and pound, get the knockout win in the first or second round. But I'm gonna say the second round. That's my pick for this fight. Main event of the evening, last one of the year, last fight of the year. It'll be sad once this is over. It'll be a bit of a dull 6 weeks, but look, this is a pretty fun matchup. This is a really fun matchup. Flyweight bout. We know the flyweights always bring the action. And we got 2 exciting fighters. Brandon Royval. He's coming off that loss to Joshua Van earlier in the year. Fight of the year, contender, fight of the year, in my opinion. I'll have a video on that later this year as well. Coming up against Manel Kape, who is on a tear. He is on an absolute tear. And he's putting on some good fucking performances. He's putting on some good performances. He had an insane performance against Bruno Silva, but so did Josh Van, to be fair. But look, I think the difference here is going to be the power in Kape's hands. He's got pretty big power in the hands. He sets his strikes up very well. He hits some insane angles. He flows very well. Royval, constant pressure. Great cardio. The 5 rounds probably favors Royval here because of his cardio and how good it really is. And he can mix it up. He can mix it up with the grappling. He's got good wrestling. He can submit. He can do it all. Okay? I think that's where he needs to take this fight. I think he needs to at least mix it up a little bit. Shoot a takedown here and there just to keep Kape guessing. Because I think if this is just a pure stand-up fight, Kape will make this look very similar to the Josh Van fight, if not worse. I could even possibly see Kape picking up a late knockout, TKO, or, of some sort. He's got big power in the hands, like I said. Royval dropped right at the end of his last fight with Josh Van. And he was running into the counters in that fight. He was running into the counters in that Josh Van fight. And I think that's the key to look at here. Because Manel Kape counters amazingly. His counters are really fucking good. He sets up really good counter shots. Big power. And I think he can use that here. I really think he can bring Royval into his shots. Set him up for something big. Possibly score a knockout of some sort. I'd say more likely a knockdown into a ground and pound transition where he gets a TKO as opposed to a out cold knockout. But I could see that happening here. And you know what? Fuck it. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to say Manel Kape wins this by knockout. And I'll say he does it in... I think he'll do it in the 3rd or 4th round. Around 3 or 4, the strikes will start to be adding up on Royval. Royval may be slowing down slightly. Kape will no doubt slow down a bit too, but the speed in his hands are fucking insane. So I think he's going to be able to get off really good strikes early and wear on Royval with the power. Continuing to run him into big fucking counter hooks and counter straights. And I think he can put him down. I think he can put him down bad here, and I think he can get a knockout or a TKO win. And I'll say he does it in the 3rd or 4th round. And that's my pick for the main event. That's all I got here. Look, I'm looking forward to this card. It's not the craziest card to call home about. Would have been nice if they, swapped this card in 323 around, and we could have finished it off the year on fucking card of the year, Bit of a cliffhanger card to finish the year off and look forward to going into the Paramount era. But hey, I'm sure we'll get some bangers on this card. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm looking forward to some of these matchups here. There's definitely some good ones, especially these two here. I'm really excited for. And man, that's going to be my last prediction video for the year. I hope you've enjoyed. Drop your picks below. Let me know who you got. Let me know who you got in these fights. I'm keen to know. A few of these I was going back and forth on, so I'm keen to see who people are taking here. And yeah, once again, looking forward to the card. Peace out, guys. Thanks so much for watching if you've gotten to this point. I'll see you guys in the next video. At this point, I'd say it'll be a recap video to this card after this. And then going into next week, we'll look at bringing a couple of different video ideas into the channel. I think I'm going to do my favorite fights of 2025. I think that'll be a pretty fun video to make, going through some of the bangers of this year. I've got a couple of other ideas in the works, but look, we'll get there. We'll get there after this card. I'll see you guys in the reaction video. Look forward to it. See you there. Peace out.